That was the trumpet sound of Joe Robinson, a gentleman who spent more than 40 years playing R&B, jazz, and blues. He's our first artist on Harvest Williams' show, presented by Foothills Times Magazine. Good afternoon, Joe.
Good afternoon, Harvest.
Oh, it's so good to have you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You've been a stalwart in this community for many, many years. And we'd like to sort of ask you some things about your past, current, and the future.
Okay.
What got you interested in jazz?
At an early age, a friend of my mother's heard me playing trumpet, and I was just playing whatever was on the radio at that time. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Come up to my house, son, I want you to hear something." And I went up there. I was a little skeptical, but, you know, grown man. We didn't deal with grown people back then. But when I went in his house, he had this wonderful stereo, and he put on Miles Davis. And I heard that. And that was it. It was like, that was the magic thing. I knew what I wanted to do from then on. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, what Miles Davis tune was it? Do you remember?
I really, no.
Whatever it was, just
whatever it was just like, this is great. And I immediately went home and started trying to imitate what that little moment that I heard there. Mm-hmm. And pretty soon I met Bill Bright, and Bill Bright gave me my first album.
Is that right?
And it was Blue Haze by Miles. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. So how long have you been playing the trumpet, Joe?
It's getting on up there now. I was, you said 40, it's close to 50 now.
Yeah. 50 years.
50 years, man, playing everything that was happening. Of course, you know, back then there was hardly any trumpet music in any of the R&B stuff.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
So I had to make my own thing up as we played. But jazz was always there. I'd finish an R&B gig and go home and practice jazz.
So when you were with the Eliminators, you would do a gig with them, and then after that you go home, or sometime during that weekend you get into...
What happened was, with the Eliminators, we played at the Dungeon Club quite a bit. We was like the house band. And so after we finished at 2 o'clock, the jazz lovers in the band, we would stay up there all morning. We stayed up there till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Is that right? The club stayed open till then?
No, the club, they closed down, and we just got us some beers and hung around and played. That was our, you know, we were just hungry to do this stuff.
Oh, man. So, but there was an outlet at that time for jazz, or just R&B, mostly?
Mostly R&B, but it was beginning to happen.
Okay.
It was beginning to happen. Bill Bright had his quartet already established. And so by the time the Eliminators finished their run, which was around 76, I went straight to Bill. I said, "Jack, this is it. I'll never play this stuff again."
Yeah, Bill Bright, I've heard so many things about Bill Bright and how he influenced and encouraged so many of the young students here in Winston-Salem. Yeah. So what are some of the rewarding experiences that you've had in playing this African American classical music, the music that we now know as jazz? What are some of the experiences that really stand out?
Well, one is when you carried me up to Maryland, Rockville, Maryland, at East Coast Jazz Festival.
Oh, yeah.
That was a high, although I was so nervous I could hardly play.
Yeah, but you came through that.
I hope I did.
You represented Winston-Salem greatly.
It was awesome, because that's the first time I had an audience of maybe 300 people and nobody spoke. Mm-hmm. And so it was unnerving. because I'm used to people talking and having their conversations and, the bar, all that. And so when I got up on stage and you introduced me, they applauded, and you could hear a pin drop. And my heart went boom, boom, boom. Mouth got dry, couldn't hardly hold the trumpet. But after the first tune, I kind of relaxed a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, isn't that the ultimate of any jazz musician or any performer at all, that the audience is quiet, they're listening to you, as you converse with them, their body language converses back as opposed to their vocal cords.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a indescribable feeling. You can't write it down what it is, but they're talking to me, their body language, and I'm checking them out, and I'm checking their eyes and their movement, and I can tell that they're enjoying it. The more I think that they're enjoying it, the more I reach for different things to entertain them. After all, entertainment is, if it's not entertaining, it's just not happening.
Yeah, and that's the essence of any artist. Any artist or performer wants to do what he, she, or they do in order to reach the audience. And it's one of the greatest communicative things that we have in life, the art of showcasing one's talent.
Yeah, the particular thing that I love about jazz is, I don't think any other music offers, is once I state the melody, it's all on me. I'm stepping out, I'm putting my neck on the line. It's unrehearsed, and you just don't know what's going to happen from bar to bar. And that's a great thing. And when you execute it to your expectations, it's the biggest eye you can get.
Yeah, and the performing is much more greater than being in the studio. You have to take one, take two, take three, take four. But whatever you do on the stage is straight ahead.
It's there, and you can't take it back, you can't correct it. So
yeah, years ago I used to manage an R&B band. One of the things I told them, I said, a gig is a paid rehearsal. The harder you practice, the harder you formulate what you want to do on stage, and you do away from that stage. When you go on the stage, all things are straight ahead, and all kind of improvisations come in, and that brings that song or those songs to life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've seen you many times, and I've seen you coach these younger guys that you have in your band on, and especially when they're doing their solos and you're standing back, you're watching them, you're cueing them, and they just take it and they just run with it. And I think that's just a wonderful thing for you and them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe, when did you begin playing the flugelhorn?
I started in about 1972 while playing with the Eliminators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between the trumpet and the flugelhorn? Is it the feel? Is it the tone?
It's the tone.
The tone.
It's a bigger, softer, going toward the trombone almost. It's mellow, very mellow. Yeah,
but there have been a number of trumpet players who switched from trumpet to flugelhorn throughout the history of jazz, such as Johnny Coles, Tom Harrell, Donald Byrd, Clark Terry, and Art Farmer, and others.
Yeah.
Did any other aforementioned players turn your ear to the flugelhorn?
Art Farmer was the first guy that I heard.
Okay.
And because Miles never played, I've never heard any recordings with him playing. I don't know whether he even had one. Then Freddie Hubbard's work on the flugelhorn was very impressive.
Okay.
So I got one.
Okay.
But trumpet was still my first love. But I'm falling, I thought about many times just switching.
Completely.
But then I like the shout thing that the trumpet has. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Your latest recording, Evolving, you have a number of originals on there, and you brought to life so many of the standards, like Footprint and the
Sentimental Mood.
oh, yeah, Sentimental Mood. Let's listen to one of maybe two of your songs. Which one would you like to us to listen to?
I think I would open up with Annalise.
Annalise.
Yeah, everybody loves it when I play it.
Let's listen to Annalise. No problem. The last several years, Joe, you've been performing at the Rowan Jazz and Blues Festival in Salisbury, North Carolina. Are you performing this year?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
For about the 10th year in a row.
Oh my goodness. You're a standard there, huh? A fixture.
Yeah, we're the only group that repeats, and the audience seems to be fine with it because we bring a fresh approach or new artists with us. You've been there when we had LeVon with us.
Yeah.
This year, I got a repeat artist, the flute player, Julia Price.
Okay.
They wanted her back.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah. Now, what is the date of that festival?
October 19th.
October 19th, which is a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
In Salisbury, North Carolina. Wonderful, wonderful. One other thing, what's the next for Joe Robinson as far as your career is concerned, Joe?
Harvest right now, I have no idea. There's not a scene in Winston. I know you got a question for that later, but one time I was thinking, I guess I was in a depressed mood. I was saying, maybe I've done it all that I can do. There's just no market right now in our area. In order to play any jazz, you got to play in a restaurant, one or two people. And that was not the way I was, what's the word, socialized, no, not socialized, but socialized. I was brought up to perform, not be in a corner while people are eating and discussing business, playing as softly as I can. So things don't, other than the festival this year, things don't look great. We're hoping that any moment, and I'm not the only one suffering. I see why guys quit, actually, to maintain that facility on the Horn and to wait for a job every 90 days or something is extremely difficult.
What do you think the reason is? Is it that you don't think people appreciate live jazz, or you don't think people like the Arts Council are giving money out to mainstream jazz?
Well, the Arts Council are not in the business of supporting clubs. And clubs is where a jazz musician needs to be.
Right.
I think nobody's brave enough to try, because if you enter for a lot of money, you do good to break even and pay everybody. You know, that's usually the case. But some people are very smart in other communities, and they actually make money.
Yeah.
They start off right from the beginning. You got to have your formula down and know exactly what you want to be and how you want to be, and you put that out there and you leave it. And to me, that spells success.
Yeah.
You can't be, we're going to have karaoke Thursday, and we're going to have jazz, and then we're going to have R&B. Then I got a DJ, and that's what most of these guys do.
Yeah, but the club that you're in now, Jomo's Rhythm and Blues, you're there the first and third Fridays of the month in Winston-Salem.
That has stopped some time ago.
That stopped?
That has stopped.
Okay.
Jomo's is a wonderful venue, but people don't come there. You know, I've had some of the jazz audience follow me there, and but there's people, it's great. I wish people could discover it. That hasn't happened for reasons I don't know. If I had the formula, I'd have a club myself.
Yeah. But you say don't think people are brave enough because they don't think they'll make money, or they don't think that they'll just break even and that will be satisfying enough for them?
Well, most of the people that are successful with jazz clubs here and up north, they former musicians, or they love this music, and they do everything to make it happen. And if you don't love people, if you open a business and you decide 3 months down the line, I'm gonna put some jazz in, they can sit right over here. You didn't design it for music.
Right.
It doesn't come off properly. You got to present that music.
Exactly.
Like Speakeasy have a nice stage lighting. So when you walk in a piano, a baby grand, so when you walk in, the atmosphere said, oh, we've been to hear something special.
Right. And Speakeasy was so special to this community.
Yes.
It was so special, and I'm regretful that it didn't have to.
I did hear a rumor. I don't believe it yet because I know those ladies, and they haven't called me and said they were coming back. But I heard the rumor and it was encouraging.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up. What's your website where people can get in contact with you and find out where you're performing, Joe?
JoeRobinson.net.
You did that, JoeRobinson.net. Okay.
If I got anything going on, it'll be there.
Okay. So, would you play us a tune, one of the originals that you have on your latest Evolving CD?
Well, by myself, I'll do the best I can.
Okay.
This is Annalise. I like that song.
Okay.
And okay, Okay, I want to come out.
All right, awesome. Joe Robinson. You can get his latest CD on his website, joerobinson.net. joerobinson.net. Thanks so much for coming by, Joe.
Thanks
We
for having me.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe we can get things going now.
And well, we're going to put some things together because we need the jazz continue to be alive. This has been the Harvest Williams Show, presented by Foothills Times Magazine. Until next time, keep swinging.